and I got to say, Artie is a really great guy. Enjoy working with him, um, and I'm going to quit wasting time. And let Artie come speak to you. What's God's put on his heart to do.
And me and my wife and two kids. Now we have three kids total. Yes, yeah. And it was a good time. But let me come back quickly. Like in the time, what happened from the beginning? Is it good to talk to microphone now? Okay. So what happened in the beginning in Ukraine? Before who a little bit older, time of USSR, Soviet Union time. That's actually where I was born. Soviet Union been include Ukraine and Russia and lots of countries. They was together, and in 1991 they spread it out. So Ukraine became an independent country, and Russia and Belarus and lots of other countries. But for a whole long time, Russia don't want to that Ukraine as a previous USSR country become be with the Europe. So if somebody been interesting, you can see that Ukraine between Europe, which Ukraine it is Europe, but between Europe and Russia. And if Ukraine become bit closer to Europe, Russia think that it's gonna affect somehow Russia. But Ukraine is independent country. You know, that's like I have neighbor who wants, I don't know, buy a lawnmower. That's his choice, you know, or something like this. I I'm not gonna able to tell him what to do, or so. But at 2014, actually, that start in 13, Ukraine been have for already a few years, and I was in Ukraine. Really bad, not good president. His name Yanukovych. He he just was a big criminal, did bad stuff, and I saw this because I was in business in Ukraine and I knew what's going on. For example, policemen uh, uh, can come to my store and ask me that I pay them money. I'm like, for what? They say you have to for protection, you know, and all like this happen everywhere. We're like, we're not gonna do this. So whole country stand up, went to meeting, big, huge, like 2 million people been in the capital against the government. Peaceful and quiet meeting, nothing bad happened. People been singing songs and stuff. And then president put over there his own protection army and just start killing people. So there was then more than 100 people, just regular normal persons. After this, in Ukraine, it's become be really so Ukrainians become be aggressive to the president, and he ran away. He ran to the Russia. With the time, and he took with him over $50 billion from the country. So that's a huge money. Also, with the time, we found out that he was pro-Russian, pro-Putin. With this time, when Ukraine have this bad economic time, in a few weeks, Russia came and took, I don't know if somebody know or not, part of Ukraine is called Crimea. They just took it quietly put their soldiers. It's a huge, big, beautiful place. For example, if you have States has Florida, and somebody just came on a border with the state, put there's airman says, "Hey, Florida not yours anymore," you know. Then they came from another side, closer to my city, and took another two big cities, one like 1 million people and another less, but still so big property. And soldiers spread it out between people from the Russia. Ukrainian army tried to do something with it. And it's been, this war been 8 years like this. But Ukraine can't do much because civil people over there, it's so dangerous. I mean, it's so hard. So, and now Russia coming to Ukraine and they saying that they want to protect these people where they came and took two cities. That's all. But that's a lie because it's Ukrainian territory. They just have to leave. So now what they're doing, I have so many videos, pictures, like for example, and so many news coming. I wake up, slept about 4.5 hours, wake up, and it's already more than 300 news on my line, what's going on with the pictures. And it's like this every day, every day. Uh, the biggest battles going on now. So when I came here and I watched news from the president of Ukraine, and he says that, and it's truth, that it's over 9,000 Russian soldiers already dead for less than 1 week. 9,000. Problem about this that Russians, lots of them, not all, but lots of them don't know where they're going. They tell them all these 8 years what's been going on from 2014. By the way, why we're here? Because in 2014, when Russia started coming to Ukraine, me and my wife, we were like, okay, what we need to do to protect our kids. That's the most important for me, to protect my family. I had at this time my sister in Winfield. Probably somebody will ask me what I'm doing exactly here. So she moved, she was adopted at year 2004. And maybe somebody know in Winfield First Baptist Church, Tim Lacey, he music minister by his family. She was a little girl. Now she's 26, and I'm 35 years old. So that's how we moved here, and because I want to protect, because there was so many talking that war gonna be at 2014. So we've been waiting all this time, and I'm glad that I'm here now, but I'm so upset and sad that it's going on actually right now in Ukraine. So do not talk not too much. With all this time, Russians government locked all news what people can have, especially on TV. So you should understand 100% TV in Russia that's pro-government. Nothing free, nothing. They know what the government wants to know. And if government telling that in Ukraine half of nation it's a Nazist, but millions of millions people coming to Ukraine as a tourist every year. It's right now when my family run from Ukraine in the trains, lots of people from other countries was. In my city where I'm from, we have over 2 million people, 400,000 people, students. It's so many universities, 400,000 people, students in the city. and it's no Nazist ever. But Russian think that it is. And now when I on social media, I'm talking to them. I have my friends over there whom I know years, or just regular people. They not believe Putin as a president. He's saying we have for a week in Ukraine 2 deaths of the soldiers, two, and they're telling me nobody from Russians not die except 2 soldiers. They like collapsing on their news propaganda in the which is so weird because Russia, the biggest country in the world, and they have over 100 million people, and I think like 150 million people, and it's so much to not know what's going on in the world. So with this, they coming, they shooting, their plan was take Ukraine for 3 days, but Ukraine know how to fight for their country, because if going back to the history before World War II start, Stalin don't want to see Ukraine as a healthy country, because we've always been crazy about to be independent, and when Ukraine become under USSR, they don't like it, and he sent in 1930s so much army to Ukraine. People been starving. They took away whole food from the nation for 3 years, and people been eating grass, everything to survive. As you remember pictures from Africa when kids has big belly because they're not been eating, starving, so skinny. That's how it was over there. My grandmother talked about this. I know so many people who are older, and I was in school, they've been telling us about this. Anyway, for this time, for 3 years in Ukraine was die, and it was not big population at this time in the world, not like now, but there was die over 6 million people in the country. And it's already been over there, close to 100 years ago. So we know who is a Russian government. They always want to do something. But Ukraine also was all this time Christian nation too. That's the biggest thing. Now Ukraine sending the most Christians as a missionaries in Europe. The most, they're going everywhere, and even to United States, I know, and to Asia, to Africa, everywhere. I have from my church, I became a Christian at 2000, at actually year 2000. By I'm telling you how. I was in a camp, in a summer school camp, and we have missionaries from United States came to Ukraine, and they serve. They've been with us whole month, 29 days, and they talk about God, and that's how I became a Christian, and that's first time uh, when I really heard about God. By the way, then this a group of people, I never heard nothing from them for a few years. Then when we moved to Ukraine, I'm sorry, to United States. So that was year 2000. We moved at 2014. In 2016, I finally found this lady who was my teacher in a camp. After 16 years, she says that she and then her husband been praying all this time for me, all 16 years for me and my family. She was so excited. She had now 4 kids actually. They live in Texas, close to San Antonio. We've been visiting them a few times. I mean, that's so powerful when God working through people for so many years. And I even didn't know what's going on. Anyway, going next about back to Ukraine. So they thought that they're gonna take Ukraine for 3 days. It's never happened. So many deaths from Ukraine side too, but they're not giving up. Soldiers been pushing back. Of course, people dying. And now, since they don't have so much power to come, another country, they wants to come to Ukraine and fight. It's called Belarus. They always been on Ukrainian side, but there's president, the same dictator as the Putin. So, and they kind of like a friends. Lots of Belarus people on YouTube, on social media, they saying you are brothers. We're not gonna fight with you. And they come into Ukraine, fight against the Russia. But there's president, he wants to help Putin. So it's a really big, it's coming a really big conflict in Belarus inside the country too. And what doing Putin now, this is the worst part what could happen, especially in my city, like I said before, it's a big city. So what cities, like big cities in United States? New York. Well, it's the biggest city, yes. Yes, Atlanta. How many people live in Atlanta? Who can tell me? How big is Atlanta? It is big. Nobody don't like go over there, so big traffic and everything. But how many people live over there? Who can Google it quickly, if it's possible? 2 or 3 million people with around Atlanta. It's not exactly in Atlanta. I think, but so 500,000 people living in Atlanta with all around that's close to 2 million. In my city, living just in city, 2 million people. It's bigger than Philadelphia. You know what I mean? It's huge. It's like 3 Atlanta together. I mean, I understand that it's more people in Atlanta than just 500, but huge. So what they're doing, and it's close to Russia. It's 50 miles to Russia, really close. So rockets easily can come, and that's what they're going. They're shooting everything what they have to the city. First, Putin says that it's going to be just for the war between soldiers. But now I talked this morning to my friend. We went together 5 years to college in same group, side by side. He in a bomb shelter with the 2 kids. They have 300 people in a bomb shelter close to his house, and they're lucky that they have bomb shelter. But it's in Ukraine. It's a negative now, temperature negative, really cold, and it's coming much colder. The forecasting in a few days it's going to be even colder with lots of snow. So they already 7 days in a bomb shelter, food less and less, kids so scared, and I mean, you know how time goes slow. But if you can watch TV or do something, it's easier. But when they're always in scary and they hear that somebody bombing, I don't know I mean, I don't know how bad it is to hear all the time this. I wake up 2 weeks ago, y'all remember there was bad weather, and I've been sleeping in daytime. I'm lucky to sleep at day because of working nights. And there was thunder close to my house, and I wake up, I'm like, oh man, that was so loud. And they have like this every hour, few bombs coming all around. So my family, my wife family, her mom, her sister, and her niece, they been separate in the beginning. Mom stay in a basement and they stay in basement, and basement really, really like not for living, just walls, some little bit lights and pipes in base. That's all, and it's not helping to survive, but it's better than be over there with the windows and everything. So they stay for a few days. They met together, and it was so bad. They were so scary, and then they left city on the train, going through capital where battles even more than in my city where I'm from. But they were so brave. I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, truly, because they're fighting over there the most. So they went through. They've been staying 4 hours before city inside the train. Then they finally came closer to the border with the Poland, and they been on the border more than 18 hours in the train, and they just staying. So you can, so many people that the UN can see it. They finally now, lots of people been praying. I've been posting. My wife, especially, she been worried all these days, barely sleeping. Like even our kids, my daughter 10 years old, my son 8 years old. They understood what's going on, how bad it is, and they're finally now from yesterday in Poland safe. So this is a big thing for us. But I still have, so I've been in Ukraine in my city over 27 years, and I have so many friends over there. They're all hiding. They're all in danger. The problem is that they don't care. They're shooting everything, like houses, buildings, everything. They're just shooting. I I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know what they're thinking or what they want. I truly don't understand. But that's what they're doing. This is number one problem. Number two problem, the Kharkiv, that's where I'm from city. I told you already before, big city. So far away from Poland, 800 miles, and so far away from capital because capital in the middle. Ukraine, the biggest country in Europe, though, bigger than France, England, Spain, Italy, bigger than them all. Germany. To come to my city, nobody not coming. If you watching news, you're not seeing anything professional videos, don't you? Why? Because no press, no no TV over there. You know what I mean? From Europe or United States, nobody from TV not coming over there to show what's going on because people are afraid. Russians don't care. When bomb coming and you have on your chest it says press, bomb's not gonna stop. You know what I mean? You will be dead. So all videos from the phones. Well, it's a good thing that people have phones and they can show what's going on, and they're recording. But since nobody not coming, and since so big city, and since there's so much bombing, people so much starving. I talked to. Let me see time. All right, a few more minutes. I talked to people from my church. Well, good thing. Let me tell you a few things about actually church and what God doing. First of all, in army, in Ukrainian army, lots of Christians. And on my Facebook page, I've been posting even captain. They like in a car, kind of like a bus. So I don't know what it is exactly. I'm not paying attention. And he praying before they going on battle, and he's saying that God protect, God help. Then lots of bombs were coming. They just stacking in asphalt, in ground, and they never explode. Lots of them. People praying. And thank you. Probably some of y'all been praying. Maybe all of y'all. I don't know. In our church, in Winfield, all around, been praying. I know this for sure. And I'm sure that God working through people. God working by Himself. I mean, I don't know what happened in future, but for sure, He is over there right now. And so what's going on? Uh, that's what I know personally. That's like few facts what we have. Uh, People don't have time to cash out their money because it's happening early in the morning in 4 o'clock. They start bombing. Some of people went to ATM and took some money, but they have limits. And banks don't have time even to open. And lots of them even not been open. You know what I mean? So people don't have cash to go to buy anything. But now even it's not about cash. Now it's stores already closed too. Who has money, they took all the possible. With this, with all this, for example, I have whom I know family. They in basement. Few families don't have anything to eat. It's just one man on a few families over there because I don't know exactly what's going on. They have more husbands or not. I mean, but and they can go out. They're starving. And I asked one volunteer whom I know. I sent him money yesterday uh, to come and help them. You know, at least bread or maybe or something, blankets, somehow because it's cold. Another one, cancer, small cancer center for kids. They have, I'm not sure how many kids, but no more than 30, no more. But still, they don't have any opportunity to go out, and they don't have food too. That was yesterday. I don't know what's going on today. Another one, kids with disease, not disease. I'm sorry. That's my English. So they're mentally sick, and it's special orphanage for them who mentally sick. They're helping them. They have special program. They stuck in like a small college, and they can go out and no power, and when they don't have lights, they start screaming. So they, at least he says, we need some food and at least candles, to have at least some power. And people like this everywhere. Some families, I have on another city friends, Christians too. They're missionaries over there. They have small church, but they're helping volunteer my age people. They're moving women with the kids to the border, uh, to another border with the Moldova. That's not Poland. Ukraine bordering with the 7 countries. 2 of them bad, 5 of them good. So, and they coming from different borders. Try to go out. So, I have pictures I sent. A person sent me this today, showing that he already bought food for this money what we sent yesterday. He already bought food and he's showing families, and so they're working. It's still dangerous. It's so dangerous for volunteers, but they're working. Um, I can talk much more longer. I mean, really, I'm full of different emotions because um, that's not how it's need to be. That's not right. That's not what. It is no matter you're Christian or not. You still have to have some human. I mean, you have to be human though to understand that war is bad. But looks like Russian government not about this. And some people have been joking here that in these years that I'm, because not many people know about Ukraine, but people always hearing about Russia, and people lots of, when I said that I'm from Ukraine, they say, oh, I know it's Russia, but no, it's not. It's a two different kind. We looks, the same because we're same ethnic group, but we're different. They don't understand our language. We're speaking on both languages. My kids speak in Russian, and I'm ashamed now that they speak in Russian because we've been so close to Russia, and it just mix. People speak what they want to speak. I know both languages. I can clearly speak Ukrainian and Russian, but I mean, we just been speak because in Ukraine, lots of Russians, with family, they have families. Now, lots of Russians come into Ukraine to protect their own families, and they know that they're not gonna make back to Russia because they're not anymore resident of I mean, they're not anymore, so they can come back because they did crime. I have so now. I have recorded, it's been on Ukrainian news, some kids recorded the teachers teach them that they cannot speak about Ukraine anything because KGB agency outside as a civil people. And so if you says, and I have on my phone video where family came in Russia with just a cardboard with the kids and say no war. They don't say against Putin anything. They just say no war, but the peace. They took kids with the parents to the prison. And like 11 years old, something like this age, and they crying on the video. Mother, she had time to record it, all this, and send it to the network. So bad. So uh, please, my request to y'all, just pray for a few things. First of all, for the safe of the Ukrainian nation, that they can be safe. Somehow God can use his power to protect people. Second, that in Russia, lots of people, but they're all afraid that they stand up, that they start doing something, that they start talking from inside the country, that fear being gone, because churches even not talking. I've been in Ukraine and we went so much time to Russia, to another churches, as a conferences and everything, and they all now quiet. People afraid to talk, so just that the fear gone, and God would provide there's power over there too. Third, please, I mean, they just, it's a hard to talk, but the Russian soldiers, they don't understand what's going on. So they coming to Ukraine for the give Ukrainians freedom. What kind of freedom? We already have freedom, over there. And Ukrainians, you know what they're doing? You may can find lots of videos. If somebody give up from Russians, says, I'm not gonna kill you. They're taking this person, they giving him phone to call to parents in Russia. Parents think that he in Russia. They even don't know that they in Ukraine. And they're telling, I'm in Ukraine and I came with a war to Ukraine. And Ukrainians giving them food to eat and they try to send them back. My last thing, they may be scary for kids, and I'm sorry that I tell them this, but this is truth. Russians don't want that people know what's going on in Russia. So what they're taking big trucks with somehow big ovens, and that's not joke. That's truth. I have these pictures, but it's hard to see. Bodies. If they're taking Russian soldiers' bodies, they're moving to the border where these cars, and they burn them to not bring back to Russia, to their families this way. Nobody not gonna see it, nobody not gonna know what's going on. That's what's going on now in the world. So yes, please pray. I still continue. Thank you so much for your money. And I never been talking about money in United States. I'm working. I have enough money, and I try to send my own money too, but it's not enough. So, and if it's possible, if your heart at least to donate, I don't know, $5, you know, $10. It's gonna help so much. I will send money already again tomorrow over there, and uh, and I hope and I know it's gonna help people who really need, who's starving already a few days. Thank you so much. I'm sorry that I came with this kind of, you know, maybe bad news or something what's going on, but this is the truth, though. This is truth. Y'all might have any questions?
If we get money on Sunday, would Sunday be okay? If we
Yes, absolutely, absolutely, yes. Because uh, it's still everything destroyed, and even let's say we're gonna be done by tomorrow, people don't have anything. Lots of they just don't have anything. I wish I can. Like my high school where I'm from, destroyed. You know, I see my high school where I went. It's like done.
Any pictures you want to share with them, you send them on Facebook and I can get it out.
Yes, I will send you. Yes,
Because I've posted some stuff so they can see it.
yes. Yeah, y'all can found me on Facebook through Milton, and y'all can see I try to post not too much, just something when people can see, you know, not bad picture, no blood, nothing like this, but just buildings, whatever going on. Thank you so much for your time, so much, and for your patience. I hope y'all not sleeping now though, and and y'all gonna have good evening. Thank you, thank you.